You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 282 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
I don't know about you, but like in literally 12, 13 hours, we're losing somebody. We're losing somebody.
I told you that there was nothing to worry about. I think that we went through the list. You saw
Nothing to
the
worry
names that we
about.
could protect. You saw that we could protect the youth. And I mean, it doesn't look like we're going to be losing. Well, I mean, there are a couple names, and we're going to get into that. I know we weren't supposed to record today, but we figured we got CCC draw and we got expansion draft, so we can jump on here, have some fun, because there's a good chance that Chris and I were going to have this conversation anyway. So we figured we'd jump on and have it with you guys. So let's get into it, Chris. Expansion draft. We found out the names.
Yes. So, I mean, I could tell you who we're supposed to be locking down, or better yet, I could tell you who's available for San Diego.
Well, first let's go with the players that were protected.
All right. So, I mean, right there, for those of you on audio, we posted a list here. Guys, check us out on YouTube. And while you're there, like and sub and all that good stuff. So, the protected players, we got the 12 up top with Calendar, Jordi Alba, Tomas Aviles, David Martinez, Yannick Bright, Sergio Busquets, Redondo, Robert Taylor, Campana, Farias, Lionel Messi, and Luis Suarez. That's who's protected out of the 12 selected. And then the guarantees out of the academy kids are Noah Allen, Boatwright, Ian Frey, Tyler Hall, Ben Krem, Santiago Morales, David Ruiz, and Felipe Valencia, Felipe Valencia was sent to kick rocks, really. So I don't get that so much.
Well, he can still resign with us, but that we had to protect them if we wanted to make sure that they didn't take him without us having a chance to sign him.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the players that are protected, which is basically like we were talking about the other day. There's no reason to worry, because basically we could save our whole roster almost, because we have academy players that we play and we trust, like Ben Krem, Noah Allen, David Ruiz. Like, we were good. We were in good shape. Chris was bugging out for some reason. But obviously, there was going to be one or two players that we couldn't.
Which,
so let's go to that.
Yeah, I mean, do you have that list there?
Yeah, I got it. I'm about to pull it up. Now, as soon as I saw the protected list, there was one name that stood out to me, another one that I forgot. But the name that stood out to me was Julian Gressel.
He's not protected.
Correct. And then for some reason, I didn't consider that Wade Gaunt wasn't protected.
Yeah.
So if you want to, I'll run through this list. Leo Alfonso, CJ Dos Santos, Freire, Julian Gressel, Cole Jensen, Sergi Christoph, Franco Negri, Emerson Rodriguez, which we talked about. Hopefully they take him, which they probably won't. Matias Rojas, Ryan Saylor, Sunderland, Ustari, and Chelo Wagon.
Now, what was there a name that you were surprised that we locked?
That we locked, or that we didn't lock?
That we locked.
That we locked? Maybe. No. I figured that we would lock Drake, even though I was joking around about him going to San Diego. Yeah. I figured that we wouldn't just let him leave in the expansion draft.
This is Damian Guzman is saying, I saw in Inter Miami News that San Diego might get Matias Rojas. I mean, everybody's look out of this list. The A+++ is Matias Rojas.
I think Matias Rojas is due a lot of money, and I don't think that would work for them. Let me check. But I think that the money that it would cost San Diego to bring in a Matias Rojas, I don't think it's going to happen. I think the player that, if they pick somebody from Inter Miami, which looking at this list, I would be Julian Gressel.
Yeah.
He's a proven commodity. Yeah. He has won an MLS Cup with Atlanta, being a big-time player and contributor on that team. Veteran. This year, he was a big-time contributor for that summer run for the best MLS record of all time as far as points go. To me, Julian Gressel would be that guy that I go after. That is a solid right wing or right wing back, if you want to play him out there, that has the veteran presence. It's just, for so many reasons, I think Julian Gressel would be a great get. Now, apparently San Diego is trying to do kind of what we did or we're doing with South America and specifically Argentina. They're going like all Mexico. So there's talking about getting Hector Herrera from Houston.
Yes.
Which I believe they're letting him walk. Insigne in Toronto, he is also available, but he's too expensive. I don't think they're going to go after him. But if I was San Diego, I would definitely go after Julian Gressel.
Well, and Tommy ATL is mentioning here, Gressel didn't like the West Coast, made comments about preferring East Coast. I wonder if they avoid him.
But that's different, though, because Gressel, when he was on the West Coast, he was in Vancouver. Like,
yeah,
Vancouver, San Diego.
Yeah, completely
Vancouver,
different.
San Diego. Like, come on, man. Anchorman, I'm sure he'd be fine out in San Diego. I think that 100% he would be okay going to San Diego. And if I was San Diego, that's definitely who I would go with.
Well, another name that was put on this list that's a pretty high prospect is Leo Alfonso. He's a young kid. He's not proven.
I don't want to say they're not going to waste a pick, but if you only have 5 picks, you're not going to go with somebody that played, a handful of games?
Well, if I'm San Diego, I'm getting either Rojas, Gressel, or maybe Negri. Negri I would get because he's kind of proven. Like, those 3 are starters on San Diego, right?
I don't know. I'd be all in on Julian Gressel.
So you'd take Gressel over Rojas.
Yeah.
If you were San Diego.
So I was looking it up. Matias Rojas is going to cost a pretty penny, my understanding. I don't know if they're going to want to put that much money into a 28-year-old striker. Now, it says here that he got paid $500,000 with us last year.
Yeah. Look, Francis. Mitch is saying the only guy realistically being picked is Alfonso.
Alfonso's not being picked.
There's
no way that out of 5 picks in the entire MLS that they're going to go and pick Leo Alfonso. And that's no disrespect to Leo Alfonso, but he's played 4 or 5 regular season games.
Danny, there's a lot of people that are against you on this.
There's a lot of people
Alfonso
that are idiots.
Better than
I'm
Gressel.
sorry, I don't know what to tell you. If you think that you're going to pick Alfonso, which has played 5 professional games, over.
We got some smart people commenting here. Sean Callahan saying Cello is the only smart pick off Miami.
Cello maybe, but Alfonso that's played 5 regular season games over these other players that are established. And remember, it's not just you're just picking from just Inter Miami.
Danny, I feel like
so that's it. Like so people saw these 4 or 5 games from Alfonso, and that's it. They're set. He is the next big thing in the MLS.
Isn't that what happened with Indiana Vasilev and St. Louis?
Indiana Vasilev had played 2 full seasons with us. He had started just about every game.
Yeah, but then he had really 3 good games that year that he got scooped up by St. Louis.
Marasovic said Alfonso showed a lot in 5 games. So, Chris, I ask you this question. You start a team. They say for some crazy reason, Chris, we're going to gift you a team. We're going to gift you the Homestead Strikers. And you get 5 picks out of the entire MLS. 5 picks out of the entire MLS. 29 teams. And you're telling me that Leo Alfonso is one of your picks?
I wouldn't go personally. I'm saying I wouldn't go personally with Alfonso. I don't see why. I can understand why people would do it. He's a young player.
I would sign him. I'm not saying that I wouldn't sign him if I had the opportunity. I'm saying that I wouldn't pick him in an expansion draft. You have 5 picks only.
I would go Gressel 1, Rojas 2nd, and Negri 3rd. Those would be my options. If
Rojas is really going to get paid only $500,000, I'd go him first. I didn't think that he was only going for $500,000.
Yeah, but you don't get what Gressel brings, though. He brings chips. He brings poise. He brings veteranship. The games he played when Messi was not playing is nothing short of great.
I am 100% with you. But Matias Rojas is a little more explosive as far as the offense goes.
Really, Danny? Was he really explosive? Yeah, because he could mota it from outside the box.
Yeah.
He wasn't the greatest either, but he wasn't the greatest either. Do you think that Rojas made more of an impact on this team than Gressel? I don't think so. There's
I
no
agree.
way.
In the summertime, I think Gressel had more of an impact. Gressel,
Code is saying Gressel overrated.
hey, look, I hated on Gressel
No way.
for a while, but I turned the leaf because once they put him at right wing, he showed what he
Oh,
could do. He
forget
showed
it.
what he could do.
Put
And
him in San Diego.
we said, hey, Gressel should be a starting right wing on any team. Obviously not our team because we have Messi.
We have
But
Messi.
any other team, right wing starter, I would be happy with Gressel. So I would 100% think that if San Diego is going to take anybody from into Miami, is them.
I mean, this is gas baggery, right? Ali saying San Diego should sign the best RB in the league, Cello. I mean, that's just being preposterous, right? I mean, that's just.
Look, I don't know why people hate on Cello. I think Cello's good.
I don't think he's great. I think he's okay. I mean,
But what else do you want? Like
not
everybody
a
wants
world
world-class
beater.
players. Like this isn't Man City. You're not gonna get world-class players across the whole pitch.
Let me tell you, Yedlin panned out for Cincy this year.
Would you take that if you could trade him 1-for-1, Cello for Yedlin? You would do that?
Yeah, I would do it.
Not me.
I would do it.
Nope.
I would do it.
I think I like what Cello gives me more defensively than what Yedlin gives me offensively because that's what you would be doing. Yedlin, I think, was a little better pushing the ball up than Cello is with the ball on the offensive side. But I think Cello gives me more defensively, and isn't that what we're always complaining about? Oh yeah,
Yes.
we are horrible on defense. We're all now. Let's get a defender that's not good at defending. No.
I do agree with Sean here saying Cello / Negri is the two safe picks. Listen, Negri, I think, is a safe pick in terms of a defender. I think if I was San Diego, I'm picking Gressel first and then Matias Rojas.
Oh, look at Mike V. For once, I agree with Danny. Cello is good. Mike V. Still worst commenter of the year, in my opinion, but I appreciate that.
I hope you guys have done the poll. We still got time on this. We got 24 hours. So
still got 24 hours. Oh, and by the
let me
way, you
tell
have 2 hours and change if you want to use promo code HOHOHO24 for 20% off batteredfans.com. It's and if you want it in time for Christmas, go ahead, batteredfans.com. And if you're watching this not live and any day after December 10th, disregard because the sale is over.
Yeah, sorry guys. Too bad, so sad. But yeah, I'm scared. We're losing a player in the next 12 hours, Danny.
We might not. Look, when I've heard that Hector Herrera is available, Insigne is available.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah,
The names.
somebody from NYCFC, I forgot who it was, but like everybody was shocked that he was available. I forgot who it was, but there's a couple people that some people were surprised didn't get protected. So
there's a lot of like tension in terms of like it's not one-sided here in the chat. A lot of people saying Gressel over Rojas, Rojas over Gressel. I mean, Mitch is saying Herrera will get picked.
I think Herrera would get picked also because they're trying to build a Mexican squad down there. They already have Chucky. They have getting Hector Herrera. I saw somebody saying that they should convince Carlos Bella to go there. Like they're gonna build a Mexican squadron down in San Diego, which is right by Mexico, and that's how they're gonna build their fan base. I think that's a smart move, and I think that's what they're gonna go with. With that said, when we're talking about Gressel and Rojas, Gressel I think is the better overall player. But if you want some goal scoring, like Gressel will set you up for the goal, but Matias Rojas will take it on his own and try to score. So it all really depends on what you're looking for, I guess.
This is a good point by Sean. He's saying that Herrera and Insigne won't be picked. They could get signed by San Diego, but they aren't paying them DP money automatically. Makes sense.
All right. Well, like I said, it's only 5 picks, and out of all those names that we've been talking about basically 4 names, right? Cello, Rojas, Gressel, and was there another one? And Negri. Well, Negri's already. We already know he's not coming back. So if they pick him, he wasn't gonna come back to us anyway. But out of those names that we put out there, Emerson would be great if they take him. But out of those names, only one of them can leave because they could only pick one player from each team, and they could only make 5 picks. So we're only going to lose one of those players if we lose any of them, so I'm not too worried. Is there any of those players that would hurt you if we lose them?
Matias Rojas or Gressel. I mean, Gressel, I don't want to say Gressel hurts us because Gressel in any other
Gressel's not
position,
coming back regardless.
I think any position other than right wing, Gressel is not as effective.
I think
Unless
Gressel's not coming back regardless. If he leaves in the, which I think that he might, I think he might get picked. But if Gressel leaves, or if he doesn't leave, I still don't think he's going to be here next year. I think he was a Tata guy.
So you think he's gone
regardless?
Yeah,
I think he'll end up getting traded or something. I don't think that he's going to stay here. I don't.
That sucks.
You know who would hurt me if we lose him? Cello. I'm serious.
You don't think that they could find a right back somewhere in Argentina?
We found one already, and everybody hated on him, and I thought he's been playing pretty good. Like, this is the thing. Everybody hates the players, and they're just dying for a replacement. You guys don't realize that the replacement might not be as good as the one that you currently have.
That's true.
Like, that happens all the time. Everybody's like, oh, this guy sucks. We need a replacement. Who? Right now, we have a steady right back. I'm all for Cello. And I'm good with Ian Frey coming back and taking his spot and Cello moving to backup or however they want to do it. But I think Cello would be the one that hurts me if he gets picked, which he won't. He won't get picked, but that would.
Imagine the coach of San Diego is Tata Martino.
No, that wouldn't happen. With the Mexican fan base that they have over there, that's not happening because Mexicans hate Tata. They blame him for the downfall of the Mexican national team.
Florida Man says, bye, Gressel. Hello, James.
I don't think James is coming.
That'd be the dumbest thing to not have him come. That's money in the bank if you bring
James.
James.
We're trying to win a championship. Like, I don't think it's going to be as much. Look, we already have Messi. Like, how much more money do you think is possible to make?
I think that you're losing out on the Colombian fan base.
I think you are overestimating how much Colombians want to watch James play.
Dude, I think that a lot of Colombians like James.
But not to the point where they're going to break the bank to go watch him and fill up the stadium week after week. Maybe his first game or something like that. But it's not going to be like, James is playing next week. Gotta go. Like, it's not Messi. Like,
they could have like Colombian nights.
Estimating the love that Colombians might have for James. Don't get me wrong. I love James. When he's playing for Colombia, he's great. But, like, I'm not like, can't miss the next James game. Like, nah, nobody's thinking that.
Listen, I think that they're making a big mistake in not getting a Colombian and a Cuban.
What they need to get is a Colombian defender.
Yes.
Because Davinson Sanchez, I don't know if he's available, but I would love Davinson Sanchez. Who else? Andres Reyes. We all saw how well Andres Reyes has been playing because Andres Reyes has been absolutely balling for was he for the Red Bulls?
For the Red Bulls, you said?
Yeah, he's been balling for the Red Bulls. So I don't know. I think.
Well, Francisco says, but not Mina.
No, not Mina. Even this a couple months ago, Galaxy got Carlos Garces. I want to say his name is from Pereira. I was talking to Edgar from News Across the Galaxy on the MLS show. He said when he showed up, completely changed their defense.
Oh, that's great.
Completely changed their defense. Like we should get some Colombian defenders. Like they're out there.
Well, I mean, Damian Guzman is saying Murillo.
Man, Murillo kind of was a bust in Orlando. Whatever. All right. Well, that was the expansion draft talk, right? So expansion draft, we think we might lose Rojas, Gressel, or maybe no, I don't think Cello's gonna go. It's either gonna be Rojas or Gressel if we lose anybody. If it's me, if it's my opinion, I think that if anybody goes, I think it's gonna be Gressel. But we'll just have to wait and see. The other news of the day. Champions Cup draw. We now know who our first team is that we're going to play against, and that would be Sporting KC. Now, Chris, do you remember how that first game ended up when we played them? Because I remember we kicked their ass in Kansas City. And
yeah,
Messi
I remember
had
it was
that
a slacking
from outside the box.
Yeah, I remember it was a slacking. That's when I saw, what's his name? Kevincho put up like a post and everything.
Oh, no, I am 100% wrong. It wasn't a slacking. I thought it was. They only won 3-2. They went up. Oh no, yeah, it was. They tied the game 2-2 at one point. Why did I think that this was a lopsided game? Well, they did win 3-2. They won in
Ooh.
Kansas City.
Sean Callahan saying the worst matchup we could have gotten.
You think so?
I mean, I don't know about that, Sean. By the way, for those of you that haven't done it, I went ahead and I posted up the actual survey for you guys to vote on. If you guys haven't voted on it, check it out in the comment section so that way you guys can go and vote on that.
There were only 2 teams worse than Sporting KC last year. And I believe it was Chicago and New England, maybe. Like, literally only 2 teams worse than Sporting KC. Now, unless they have a complete overhaul, and you have to remember, the weird thing about the first round of the Champions Cup is that it ends up being a preseason game for us. These games are going to be played before the first regular season game of the year, just in case anybody wasn't aware. Like, that's when the first round is played. It's going to be played at some point in February. We haven't even played our first regular season game yet. So Sporting KC hasn't either. And if they haven't played their first game and they're bad this past year, I'm assuming they're going to take a little while to get whatever new pieces they get to get going.
Yes.
I don't see how this could be the worst possible draw. Now, Thomas says Sporting KC equals Atlanta United. Look, everybody's going to start saying that, right? Whenever we play a team that we should beat, everybody's going to compare them to Atlanta United.
Yeah.
So
it's going to happen forever.
You have to remember that this is the first match or first game that counts after the Atlanta series. I don't think they're going to take anyone lightly. I think they're going to come out and shellac Sporting KC.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, we won against Sporting KC. And we ended up scoring a goal, I think, a little bit later.
But now everybody's going to be like, oh, that's what you said about Atlanta. That's what you said about Atlanta. How did that turn out for you? So, I mean,
all
that's
over
again. All year now.
Yeah. Atlanta's going to be like the monster under the bed now.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. I mean, they're going to be the Chupacabra, Atlanta United FC. Get out of here.
Well, I think that wasn't the worst draw. But if you guys want to see what the table looks like if we somehow get past the vaunted Sporting KC, this is what it's going to look like. We're going to play against – at first, when I saw this image, I was like, is that Germany? Like, are we playing against Germany in the second round? No, that is – I forgot the name of the team. Of course, could you look that up? My computer's being a piece of crap, so I forgot what the name is. I just know that they were the champions of Jamaica. They play in Kingston, Jamaica. So that's who we would be playing in the second round. Much different than playing Monterrey in the second round. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We started in the second round last year. So we played against Nashville in the second round. So we would be playing against Jamaica. Not Jamaica, this team from Jamaica. Now, how cool is it, Cavalier? Thank you, Cavalier FC. So Cavalier FC, they were the champions of Jamaica. They play in Kingston, Jamaica. How cool is it that there's a chance that Messi's going to go out and play in Jamaica? I'm pretty sure he's not.
That would be really cool. That would be really cool.
So I think that is very cool. I'm sure the people at Jamaica, they're big soccer heads. I'm sure they're going to be very excited to have Messi. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a pro Inter Miami crowd for everybody that goes out to see Messi. And I think that's going to be very cool. If, obviously, because we don't want to assume, like somebody in the chat said, if we could somehow figure out a way to somehow, by some miracle of God, beat Sporting KC, right? So if we somehow squeak by them by some miracle, we'll go and play against the Cavalier FC, and we'll play against them in Jamaica. It's a home and away. And then if somehow, by some miracle, we were to beat this Jamaican team, we will be playing either against Columbus, LAFC, or Colorado in the quarterfinals.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
So I just looked over the Jamaican Premier League. Cavalier sits at 6th place. They're basically non-factors.
But
they have 5 wins, 5 wins, 4 draws, and a loss.
Cavalier Stadium is 3,000 capacity. Really? That's interesting.
No way.
That's very cool. Well, for all the Open Cup lovers that want to see Messi play in a little high school stadium, that's perfect.
Hold on. I need to look
So
this up.
that would be really cool. I think it would be awesome to see him play in Jamaica.
I need to see this. I need to see this. And this is so this is in Jamaica. Oh my goodness. That thing is like it's small as hell.
Well, look, everybody's about making their money, right? If they have a bigger stadium available, I'm sure they'll move the game to the bigger stadium. I doubt that they're going to host that game in front of 3,000 people, knowing that there's thousands upon thousands that probably want to see Messi in Jamaica.
Well, and they play in Kingston, Jamaica.
Yeah, so there might be a bigger stadium. So I would assume that they might move that to somewhere bigger.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to move it somewhere else. There's a park right next to it called Independence Park. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm taking a look at it. And it is small. Now, like from Google Earth, oof.
For all the conspiracy theorists out there, I'm sure there's some out there. I haven't seen them yet, but I'm sure they exist. If you take a look at the brackets, because for the person that said that this was a tough draw, Sporting KC, if you look at the 4 quarters, right, the 4 regions, the top left, that bracket that Miami ended up with, that's the only bracket that doesn't contain a Mexican team.
That's right.
So that's probably the easiest route to the semifinal.
Yeah.
Not that they will, right? We couldn't beat Atlanta, so maybe we can't beat anybody. But that is the easiest route because we could possibly be Sporting KC, we could possibly be the Cavaliers from Jamaica, and then we would have to be either Columbus, LAFC, or Colorado, which I think were all beatable, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And in the semifinal, you would probably end up with a rematch against Monterrey or against Pumas, maybe.
The top right to me is a little scary. The top right bracket to me is a little scary.
The Sounders, America, yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's a scary bracket right there.
But look, I think we definitely ended up with the easiest road to the semifinals. We avoid all Mexican teams. Again, the conspiracy theorists want to come out there. I don't blame them because that is kind of fishy that there's Mexican teams littered all over this thing, except for on our side. So, but I'm not hating it.
So, I mean, the real Akeno is saying they're trying for Miami versus America.
Look, I really hope that we get the Miami-Monterrey rematch in the semifinal. That's what I'm hoping for. I would love to get that rematch since they're the ones that eliminated us.
Yes. And there's nothing else that screams expectation than Sargent saying we need to focus on these tournaments now. Mascherano, I'm sorry, buddy. You got brought in when the fire is hot. You're expected to win every single piece of hardware, my friend. Sorry. Yeah, and I think it seems like Danny just kind of crapped out. Either that or I'm frozen. Guys, let me know in the chat if Danny is frozen or if I'm frozen. Danny froze. Okay, all right. Thank you, Mike V. So I don't know what's happening with Danny. I don't know whether I should just keep him up there. Just keep him awkwardly looking at the camera. Oh, man. Oh, there he is. Okay, he's back there backstage. I can go ahead and bring him back on. Danny, you look like you were a concerned citizen at some point in that frozen. Yes. Well, yeah, you did look like you were scared for your life. Yes.
I am of Sporting KC. Somebody said that's like the worst possible draw. Like, I'm terrified.
Atlanta 2.0. Really?
Jesus Christ, I am so freaking scared of Sporting KC and then of Cavaliers. Look, I think we ended up with a pretty good draw, as good as it possibly could be. And that's really all there is to it. I mean, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. Like I said, Mascherano, we're expecting everything. Welcome.
You know what? This is what I don't like about this tournament. The fact that we're playing in the preseason games that matter. Like, we haven't hit our stride yet. Literally, the first game that counts. Let me see when Nashville played their first game last season. Because Nashville, I remember before they played us, they played. And I'll tell you what the date was right now.
Well, I mean, but Nashville had, but they had sort of like a. I mean, you're gonna look at the date, but I mean, Nashville was playing in the tournament as well. So, I mean, look, Sean Callahan is saying playing in KC in February, our first snow game incoming. You think we're gonna get snow against KC in February? Maybe. And look, Steve Munoz brings a good point here, Danny. He says there won't be a crazy world tour, so the team will be fresh. That's great.
All right, so the first game, it was so the way that they did it last year is that the first game of the Champions Cup for the first round was the week before the opening game. So like the Wednesday before, and then they played Saturday, the first regular season game, and they played the second leg the following Wednesday. That's horrible. To start the season with 2 out of the 3 really important games, and you're playing those in a matter of 7 games. Oof, that's rough.
That is pretty tough. I mean, that sounds like US. Well, no, I was gonna say it sounds US Open Cup-ish, but
no. So you could bank on one thing, that if this is the way they do it again this year, our first game of the season is probably going to be on a Sunday. While Chris Googles that, and Mascherano does have the heat on him, he can't get eliminated in the first round. Could you imagine? Like, just picture this. We got rid of Tata because he couldn't win tournaments. And then 3 games into his career, he already gets eliminated from Champions Cup. Like, forget about it. Like, what else is there? Then you got to win the MLS Cup at that point.
apparently Messi has played in the snow before when he was playing for PSG.
Yep. All right. I think that's about it. Do you have anything else, Chris? Or does the chat have anything else?
No, man. I can't wait to see who they steal from us tomorrow. It's not going to be Emerson because we're going to keep him for life.
Yeah. We're going to keep loaning him out for sure.
Well, hey, listen, you don't even know how it looks if you put him with Messi. You have no idea.
I know how it looks.
No, you do not.
It looks terrible.
Imagine him and Messi playing against Miami FC in the U.S. Open Cup.
No. You know how like there's like shirts that get shipped to different countries with like the teams that like lost the Super Bowl, but they made like those shirts. You think? I look at this cup and I always think this, like, did this even happen? 2024 playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this never even happened.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
This is like a limited edition, something that should have never been made because did this even did we even make the playoffs this year?
I don't think so.
I feel like it didn't.
Atlanta destroyed us. I mean, Atlanta is the boogeyman.
Like Sporting KC is gonna apparently.
Yeah, I mean, Sporting KC is Atlanta 2.0. Like, we should be shitting our pants right now.
No, I mean, we can't talk. Look, until they beat them after losing to Atlanta, we have to be humble. So
we do, yes. And look, yeah, you need a Stanley Cup.
I'm waiting for the Messi one to go back on sale. I legit went out there to try to buy it, but it was sold out because they send emails in the morning when I'm at work, and I don't find out until a couple hours later.
And you got cut off. There's no way you're getting it on time.
So, all right.
Well, it was a nice impromptu Tuesday show, Danny.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then real quick, Ali Ace asking my thoughts on Juan Soto. Juan Soto wasn't the best player on the Yankees last year. So he can go kick rocks. If like I can't believe that they're paying him almost $1 billion.
That's really brutal.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I know that
But the
he's
Mets
good,
do that.
but he's good. But he's like, if you name the best players in baseball, he's not number one. So I look, maybe one day we'll start a baseball show again. But yeah, I thought that was absolutely dreadful what they did, and so much so that the Mets had to sell the Brooklyn Cyclones. They no longer
But the Mets,
own the Brooklyn Cyclones because they paid so much money in this contract that they had to make it up in other ways. So they sold the Brooklyn Cyclones.
but the Mets do that all the time, don't they? They just sign players for like $1 gajillion,
No,
and they never get
No.
what they're supposed to get in return.
no. They just started this now with this new owner, Steve Cohen, which is like one of the richest guys in the world, and he's a huge diehard Mets fan. That's got to be pretty cool, right? Like, you find out that like a really, really rich person is like a diehard fan of your team, and they buy the team, and you're like, oh, well, he's a diehard. He's about to go all in to make sure we win a championship. I get why Mets fans are excited. I do think they overpaid, but they overpaid. But that's the only way to get them. They got them. They're excited. Fuck them. Whatever.
And now the Marlins are never going to win shit.
I mean, they're gonna win anything anyway.
I mean, guys, you can enjoy like $3 tickets to go watch a Marlins game, and it'll be in AC, and you can go get $3 and $5 food. So I'm gonna see if I can make it to the ballpark when the season starts.
Look what they were giving a giveaway at a Brooklyn Nets game like a couple weeks ago, and it was really cool. And I really think into Miami, if you have anybody from your promotional staff watching this, like, it's such little effort to do like things that are really cool. And this is off topic at this point. Sorry, guys. But look at this. Look at how cool.
Oh, that's dope. Like a cassette?
This is a pin.
Oh.
It's a pin, but it is in a cassette case. I'm not opening it. It's sealed. So I'm going to leave it in there. But it is a pin. But you can leave it in here. But could you imagine like just having like a messy pin right here? Like, this is dope. And they gave these out to everybody that showed up. Like, into Miami. Come on, man. Like, you could do stuff like this.
They got to step it up.
And like, it's stuff that they do. Look, this isn't the first time they do it. Look, they did it last season also with Nick Claxton. Like,
ooh, Nick Claxton.
Like, simple stuff that you can do. And I'm sure that this isn't that expensive. It's an effing pin. Yeah. But it looks really cool. Like, come on, man. Into Miami. Simple stuff. So, but again, the Brooklyn Nets suck, so they have to get creative. I get it. We have the best player in the world, even though we lose to Atlanta.
Yeah, right now, Solana is somewhere rolling around in anger.
Yeah.
Because we want giveaways, better giveaways. Shout out to Solana.
Yeah, he'll be on with us tomorrow in Espanol at 10 o'clock. And we'll be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock for our award show. Finally going to get that done. So we're going to get that award show done.
And Steve Munoz asking how much the fireworks cost when they lost that playoff series. That money can go towards better things for fans. And they still
use money on it because they let them go even though they lost.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. So tomorrow, award show at 9, and then Battered Herons en Español with Solana and Xavier Laos at 10. And that Spanish show is going to be jam-packed because we haven't talked MVP en Español. We haven't talked roster moves. We haven't talked CCC. There's so many things to cover. So we're going to have a really good Spanish show. So make sure you tune in tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And I think that's it. Make sure that you hit that like button, like Walter Torres said. Shout out to you, sir. Appreciate it. And that was it. That was an impromptu show, but we heard, so many things going on today. If we're about to talk about it on the phone anyway, let's just go on and just hit that record button and let you guys join in on the conversation because really enjoy talking to you guys. And you guys go ahead and participating. Mitch just said the expansion is at 10 p.m. Is that true?
It's at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I think it's during the day.
10:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, I figure it's usually during the day. So yeah, it should be good. And Stancy, this is a pretty short show, so you can go back and watch We're at 40 minutes, so 20 minutes shorter than we usually go. But like I said, we're just gonna have this conversation on the phone anyway, so we figure we jump on here and have it with you guys. But that's it. I'm done gas bagging. I want some pins with Messi and Alba. Give me a Yannick Bright one.
Yes,
That's what I really want. Give me a imagine Yannick Bright with this. This would be so
would be
cool.
sick.
Come on, man. So give us some of this stuff, and that's it. I think we're ready to wrap it up.
Wait, hold on. Sean Callahan saying Wednesday, December 11, 10:30 p.m., 7:30 p.m. Pacific. I saw 10:30 in the morning, Sean. I mean, is it really 10:30 at night tomorrow when we're getting a player stolen from us?
Yes, it is 10:30 p.m.
Oh, so it's 10:30 at night tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. So we'll be in the midst of our Spanish show. Oh, and then one last thing off topic, not necessarily gas bagging, but tomorrow night Trae Young goes to Madison Square Garden. So, I know how much you love that. So
he's not valid. He's not valid.
I know you love to say that. Any final words there, Chris?
No, that's it, man. Yellow card for those of you in San Diego that are going to steal a player of ours tomorrow.
Gressel. It'll be Gressel. If somebody goes, it's going to be Gressel. But for sure, if you tune in with us in Espanol, sorry for those of you that don't speak Spanish, the schedule kind of just worked out that way, I guess. But we'll be giving a live reaction in Spanish, I guess, as it goes on, while we're talking about other things. So
they made a 28 years later, Sergeant. There's no way.
What is that?
There's no way.
What is 28 years?
There's a zombie movie called 28 Days Later, and now he's saying 28 years later. There's no way. You're pulling my no way. 28 years later.
Chris and I
Holy crap,
doing
wrong.
A general show, and we might do that in the near future, where we just talk about just stuff. So we'll see. All right. If you are listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all that other good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And again, today's the last day to get 20% off with promo code HOHOHO24. So make sure you go on batteredfans.com to get your stuff. It'll be here by Christmas if you order it before the end of the day on December 10th, 2024, which is tonight. And as always, for those of you in the chat, we appreciate you hanging out with us for the last 45 minutes. As always, you guys are the best part of the show. And we will be back tomorrow for our award show. So, Chris, did you want to say something? Because I feel like you're really animated over there.
Dexter prequel starts on Friday. It's like one of the best shows, one of my favorite shows of all time.
It's okay. Oh, by the way, I watched Die Hard. Absolutely horrible.
Okay.
I wasn't able to sit through the whole thing.
Wasn't able to sit through the whole
Die Hard movie. Horrible. People say, "Oh, it's a Christmas movie." It isn't a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas
movie. Life movie.
It's a life movie. Period. It's just a bad movie.
It's a life.
That's the conversation that should be had. It's just a bad movie.
I mean, look, you're about to step into some uncharted territory here.
It is not a classic.
Die Hard is a classic. Shit. You are un-American. You are un-American. Cut the show.
Look, I made it a point. I was like, you know what? I've heard this so much throughout my life. I'm gonna watch it. I put it on. I couldn't sit through the thing. It was so horrible. The acting.
You hate Bruce Willis also? No, it's not.
Yes, it is. There's like cops like going away from the building, and Bruce Willis is like, "What are you doing? Come back, assholes!" It's like, what the fuck is this? It was really bad. It was really bad.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
But Die Hard 2 was good.
But you like Die Hard 2 because it was in New York with Samuel L. Jackson.
That's not why I like it. I thought it was a good movie. But the first Die Hard, trash.
First Die Hard is a classic.
No, it wasn't. I'd rather watch Armageddon all over again.
Have some respect. Bruce Willis has dementia, okay?
What does that have to do with anything?
It's just, you know what? It's Danny is the worst movie reviewer ever.
No.
Die Hard is a classic. Richard Greenberg.
Die Hard 2 is better than Die Hard. Nope, Die Hard 2 is better than Die Hard.
Die Hard is not mega trash. Part 2 is not mega trash, Dennis. It is good. You're clueless, according to Tati. Harry's laughing at you. I mean, you are a literal clown. I'd
rather watch Armageddon. I'd rather watch the 10-hour movie that is Armageddon than watch Die Hard. And I only sat through like half of it.
But then how you didn't even give it a chance? You don't even know what happens at the end.
I don't, because I couldn't sit through the garbage. Well,
didn't
let
even
me
get
guess.
to the
He
best
lives,
part.
bad guy dies, right? Ooh.
That's American. That's American, baby. Are you kidding
Whoa.
me?
Thank you. Spoiler. He
It's
lives, bad guy dies.
It's 90s American
Classic.
action movie.
Classic. What an ending. Just put it up there, the classics. All right. We're gonna
end the show.
All right. So we'll be back tomorrow. Until the next one. Have a good one.
You're terrible.